Happy Sabbath to you guys. Welcome. Glad to be back. Of course, my lady Dolly, and I'm Nazi Yahoo. I'm excited to come back here on YouTube. Happy Sabbath, day of rest. All right. Let's settle. All right. All right. Hopefully, last night you guys got some understanding. I was very excited yesterday. Was able to get on the word last night. Hopefully, you all caught some understanding on the Shabbat. Like when it's to start. And once again, I apologize for the pauses yesterday. I was just trying to make sure that I found the scriptures that I need to find. Sometimes when we serve and take a while to get a scripture, we need to get out. So actually, I found the scripture, and it's in Daniel 9:27. Because yesterday I was talking about that, regarding his death, of help us to know when to start the Shabbat. I was saying that it was on day 4, quote unquote Wednesday, that that Yahusha died. So I'm gonna go there, right? So Daniel chapter 9 verse 27. This is the verse I was trying to find last night, just to catch on, right? Okay, yeah, verse 27. So it says in Daniel chapter 9 verse 27, it says, and the greatness of the covenant multiplies for 1 week. Or it says shawa. Okay, that's Hebraic word for week. Okay, in the middle of Shaua, or the week, it says that the sacrifice of the oblation stopped, and the overspreading of abominations makes it desolate, and even until the consummation is determined and pour over desolation. So that's what I was trying to find. He died, and it was completed. His death, resurrection, his plan, Yahuwah's plan through him, was completed. Okay, 3 days and 3 nights. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, that the marriage, the covenant with Yahuwah, those who desire to be with Yahuwah, um, the sacrifice has been completed. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there. And the word oblation, let's see, oblation. So that means it is an offering. Okay, oblation is an offering to Yahuwah. So Yahusha was the final offering. So this was a prophecy in the future of the Messiah coming and dying for us on the midweek and being resurrected on the Sabbath. Okay, so I just want to point out there that's relating to last night subject on what's the Sabbath. I should have put in the title when it's the start, but this is part 2. So we're going to go into depths of the Shabbat, and I'm going to be talking on how to keep it, what to do, and what not to do. So let me just say this, And this, and of course, I'm not trying to, um, make anyone feel this condemnation. That's not what I'm trying to do. Whether you, if you Jew or Jewish, Orthodox Jew, okay. Even though I don't condone those religions, nothing against you guys in that situation, okay. Because I stand for truth. I'm not trying to, downgrade anybody just by saying that, okay. But we have people that's in that type of agreement, their religion, and they think that if you cut on the light, if you turn the light on, um, that's a sin on the Sabbath. They don't take showers on the Sabbath. Uh, yeah, it's kind of it's interesting. Um, they 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 think they can't go outside on the Sabbath. They can't. You can't go outside. Um, you can't pick up a cup on the Sabbath. Okay, so I'm just naming a few that some people take the Sabbath way up here instead of balance it out. Okay, because there's a method, there's a religion. No, it's a cult called Quakers. Have you heard of the Quakers? Okay, the Quakers, they keep the commandments, right? Well, not fully, but they almost. I mean, they keep the commandments, but not fully like that. But they keep add-on commandments too. So they they make it beyond. Okay, so it's kind of like a um, being highly religious, and this is not to miscondone the Sabbath. I'm not trying to. No, I'm not trying to condone the Sabbath being broken. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, we just had to read what Yahuwah want us to do, and what it's not, and what He want us to do. So me personally, on the Sabbath day, I used to play video games and stuff, man, but I quit doing that on the Sabbath day. I used to watch TV. Don't watch TV anymore on the Sabbath day. I later watch TV on Sabbath day. I just kind of went out to support visitations. Even though I don't support holidays, but it kind of you are. So let's say somebody invites you, like, oh, hey, John. Hey, what's up? So John is invited by his dad on Halloween, right? Let's say the Sabbath fell on Halloween. He goes. John loves Yahuwah, but he goes and eat the food that's of Halloween. But he don't dress like uh, a butterfly. He don't dress like a piece of cake. Or dress like a cow. He go down and just eat some food, but he eating food off of idols. You see what I'm saying? So there's a problem with that because, like I said yesterday, Yahuwah worked for 6 days and he rested on the seventh day. So I'm really excited to get on this. I pray that the word will help you guys to be inspired and to keep it the way how Yahusha kept it, the way how Paul kept the Shabbat, Peter, Matthias, Cornelius, followers of Yahuwah. All right. One last thing before we start prayer is and this is my encouragement, and this for those who may live with roommates and stuff. They may live with parents. Don't let them dictate. Don't let them try to cause y'all to disobey the Shabbat, because the Sabbath is very serious, man. The Sabbath is very serious. It's real. It's not a game, man. You know, um, It's not a game. Yahuwah is very serious about this. I love it. We love it. No problem. Yahuwah is the king of all things. He is sustained the most. He's the most high, right? And so today, yeah, that's right. He asked for a sacrifice. And trust him, man. Um, um, you know, not playing video games, for example, not watching TV. That's one of the biggest sacrifices in my life, personally. Yeah, biggest sacrifice. Because I love video games, man. But not playing video games on Sabbath, it's really not bad. It's really awesome. It's spiritual. I mean, it's really helping out. So, and it's kind of affect my lady in a way. Like earlier today, I praise and worship Yah. You know, she did too. Saying it affected her. So you'd be amazed, man, when you keep the Sabbath day, especially if you have like sister wives or one wife or one lady and you have children. Trust me, when you do that as a man, trust me, they're gonna be affected too, and they're gonna keep the Shabbat with you, and they'll become strong people. Okay, very strong when you constantly being practical on keeping the Shabbat. Praise God. Okay. All right. So we're going to start prayer. Father Yah Baruch Atah in the Mount of Kawan, we just want to thank you for another day another day opportunity to serve today. And Father, we ask that people go ahead and view the videos. We ask that people understand about the Shabbat, and for them to abide by it. Just obey it. And because again, it's very important. The Sabbath is very important. The Sabbath is about you. It's not about us. It's about you. You don't want to create everything, and you rested on the seventh day. So, Father, we ask that you help people to rely on your rest, yours, that be strengthened, uh, so that they can become better people, and that works become righteous, no corruption, that there be a separate from among them. And so, thank you, Yah, that we are separate from among them, that we just continue to focus on your ways. Um, we trust you. So, maybe esteem on today. Alahua, we love you, worship you. In the name of Yahusha, we honor and praise on today. Thank you. So be it. Okay. Um, so let's read another psalm. Let's read a psalm today. Yeah, let's read a psalm. Psalms 100. It says, make a joyful noise to Yahuwah, all you lands. Serve Yahuwah with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know you that Yahuwah is Savior. It is he that made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter to his gates with thanksgiving, and to his courts with praise. Be thankful to him, favor his name. For Yah is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endures to all generations. Praise you, Yah. Thank you for Psalms 100. And then we'll read another psalm. We're going to read Psalms 136. Okay, so it says, give thanks to Yahuwah, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Oh, give thanks to you, allure of gods, above all gods, for his mercy endures forever. Oh, give thanks unto the Master, for his mercy endures forever. To him who alone does great wonders, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 5, to him by knowledge make this firmament, for his mercy endures forever. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endures forever. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 8, the sun ruled by day, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 9, the moon and the stars rule by night, for his mercy endures forever. To him that smote Mitzarim, or Egypt, The firstborn, Egyptian, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 11, brought out Yashrael from among them, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 12, with his strong hand, with the stretched out arm, for his mercy endures forever. To him, verse 13, which divided the Red Sea in two parts, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 14, and Yashrael to pass through the midst of it, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 15, overthrew Pharaoh and his host in the Red Sea, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 16, to him which led his people through the wilderness, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 17, to him which smote great kings, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 18, and slew famous kings, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 19, Sechon, king of Amorim, for his mercy endures forever. And Og, the king of Bashan, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 21, gave their land for heritage, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 22, even a heritage, and to Yashrael, his servant, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 23, who remembered us in our low estate, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 24, and has redeemed us from our enemies, for his mercy endures forever. Verse 25, who gives food to all flesh of humans, for his mercy endures forever. I guess animals too. Yeah, insects. Verse 26, oh, give thanks unto Yahuwah of the firmament, for his mercy endures forever. To thou Yahuwah for Psalm chapter 136. Allow Yahuwah. All right, so let's go right into the book, and let's start in Exodus. So yesterday we know that the Sabbath. So it starts from the break of dawn to the break of dawn. So now, like I said, we're dealing with what we can't. How do we obey it, right? How do we obey its rest? And let's go to Exodus chapter. Chapter 20. Yeah, we that was 16 yesterday. That was 16 yesterday. Remember, they bake what they bake. Okay, they kept the Shabbat in the morning the next day. Okay, ate the bread. Okay, um, so here it says. Okay, so let's go to verse 8. Okay, it says, remember the day of rest, or the set apart Sabbath. Verse 9, 6 days shall you work. Now, even though some people work 5 days, 4 days, I don't think Yahuwah's going to punish us if we work 4 days a week. Some maybe 3 days, 2 days. Okay, some may have a business. You want to work. I mean, and let me just say this real quick. This is also talking about. This is not just about a regular job. This is also talking about. Let's say you're a farmer, and you into gardening, or you into like building something. That's also referring to that. I don't want y'all to confuse that. That's not talking about just working at Popeye's Chicken, and you work at part time 4 days a week or 3 days a week, or working like at least 22 hours a week. Okay. I mean, ultimately, it's not referring to that, but in a way, it do. But this is about like certain work. Okay, I'm not saying work Popeyes on a Sabbath. That's wrong. Okay, but let's keep going. So 6 days you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah. In it, you should not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. Okay, so when it's talking about within your gates, this might be talking about maybe you have strangers live in your place for hospitality. They're not to disobey the Shabbat as well. Um, Now, those who live in an apartment complex, they may live in the upper, like in a second floor. Um, that had nothing to do with you. They're fine because you have your own privacy. But there's somebody like we're talking about within your gate, somebody that you may help to, you helping somebody out. They have to obey the Shabbat too. Um, Also, it says your daughter, your manservant. So this also talking about even your wife should not disobey the Shabbat. Um, your brothers, cousins, maids have to keep the Shabbat as well, man. I know, right? Even maids got to keep it. Your sister wife got to keep the Shabbat. Your children. So this one, everybody. This is the Shabbat is a universal day. It's very universal. So it's very important that people have to understand this. Now I do get that people may say, something came up, I've been called for work. Listen, have at it. I think in those situations, if I'm getting called for work, I will find another job that have weekends off. That's just me. That's what I would have did. Okay. Um, Also, let me just say this too. Um, when it's talk about working, working, this is also talk about sex, exercising, um, keep moving things around. That's working. Okay, I'm gonna deal with it later in scripture. Okay, because people think just about just working at a McDonald's. No, it's also at your home. Okay, so we have to, the Sabbath is like letting Yahuwah breathe through it. Let him just take over. Like stay still. Okay, it's a spiritual day. Now, verse 11. For in 6 days, Yahuwah made the firmament or corporal heavens and the earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested or stopped on the seventh day. Wherefore Yahuwah favored the day of Sabbath and made it set apart. Now let me say this: the Sabbath day is a sign of the covenant of that you have with Him. It's a sign of salvation. Please keep the Sabbath, y'all. If y'all keep the Sabbath, you are His. I'm telling you, if you keep it right, you are His. You are going to be saved. It is a sign of a covenant of Yahuwah. Okay. A lot of folks think it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. Okay, it's a big deal for him, man. It's a very clean, perfect day. Okay, it's a clean. But this is why me and my lady we don't do too much anyway on the Shabbat. See what I'm saying? We really don't praise and worship, teaching. Like right now, after that, go to YouTube again, enjoy some videos, learn some new things. Now if y'all want to laugh, that's fine. But be careful what you're looking at will come to comedy. But as long as you look at something that's, something you is okay with. Like, look, I mean, let's say if you're looking at some, let's say a brother talking about something, um, talking about his daughter messed around and painted cake with tar. You laugh at that, that's funny, right? That's not negative. So we just have to be more twice as careful. See, I don't make this sound like I don't want to make this like a cult. It's not a cult, but I know we've been brought up thinking that the seventh day it's a day of rest where you go out, hang out, go to clubs, and go to restaurant. You get a lot of. I get that. We all thought that, but man, I'm just so glad to understand what the Sabbath is. I said, oh, that's what that is. Okay, now let's keep going, y'all. Um, Verse 12: Honor your dad and your mom, that your days be long upon the land which yours give you. See that? So even in Shabbat day, for those who live with parents, you got to obey your parents on the Shabbat. Especially, well, this is only if they know Yahuwah or they have basic principle. Okay, so basic principle meaning dad says, son, I want you to um, read this. No, hold on. How can I say this? Um, he says, son, can you give me 2 kiwis? But the son is too busy looking at this important YouTube teaching, right? He said, okay, Dad, I'll do it right now. Sound obedient. That's like a basic principle. Another example, basic principle is that let's say the daughter's bored. Now this is what the Shabbat. The daughter's bored. Okay, she's whimsical. Okay, whimsical means it means a behavior that's unapproved. It's uncontrollable behavior. Dad says, "Daughter, I need you to stop talking to that lady. She's giving you bad ideas." He said, "Oh yeah, Dad, I'm sorry." And Dad says, "I want you to cut her off because I've been lately, you guys. She's been talking about some negative things and teach her how to smoke cigarettes." And she said, "You know what, Dad, you're right. I'd let her go." And she blocks her on Facebook. Okay, so these are example of basic principle. So here in the spirit, if Dad says, "Hey, Dad says, "Hey, I want you to read the book of Ruth. I want you to come to me and tell what you learned." That's a spiritual obedience. That's spiritual honor. Okay, that's spiritual. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 13, you should not murder. Okay, so we are not to murder any human on the Shabbat. Now, I know it may sound dramatic, but I'm just had to say this for maybe for those who may be new, when watch this video and not familiar about Yahuwah. Now you know, right? Now here's the funny part: we have deaths every weekend. Every weekend there's a death on the Shabbat. I wonder why it's happening. Maybe because they're not keeping it, or maybe they heard about it and they want to keep it, or maybe they know about it. No, they haven't heard of it, and so they have an ignorance that relates to their works that is completely unacceptable. Every weekend, it's always death. Every weekend. Recently, we had 90 murder cases a few Shabbats ago. When y'all keep the Shabbat, I promise you, you will not get hit by a gunshot. Have y'all noticed that every weekend there's always something going on? But during the week, that's barely crime. It's not a lot of crime like that. Maybe I'm just the only one thinking that way. It's always something on the weekend because of the disobedience. Okay? It says you should not break wedlock. So on the Shabbat, y'all better keep y'all wives. Don't break wedlock on the Shabbat. Don't get it. Don't commit adultery on the Shabbat. That's breaking wedlock. Commit adultery. Or women, don't commit adultery against your husband on the weekend. Well, isn't that true that some cases wives do love the weekends? You know, the Shabbat, they commit adultery on the Shabbat. Yeah. How about seventh night, quote unquote Saturday night? Things she do is she get a dress, she dress up, she go to Mickey's house, Mickey drinks a lot. Then they go to a little lounge. She drinks like maybe like 6 bottles of beer. No, how about 10? I'll drink hard liquor, and then she go to some gas house late at night on a Shabbat night. Have y'all noticed that? It's always something. They love to pick a weekend to go out. And then when it's first day of the week, they tired all day. Like that's the Sabbath. We supposed to keep the Shabbat right. Not wrong. Even high school students, college students, grammar school students, they get their first kiss on the seventh day, and they lose their virginity on the seventh day. Talking to women, and brothers lose their celibacy on the seventh day. They smoke weed, cigarettes. They drink a lot of beer on the Shabbat. A lot of liquor. They steal. They murder. There's a lot going on. Let's keep going. You should not steal. No surprise. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor. Okay, so we got to teach truth, but not teach lies on the seventh day. Okay, so but what's funny is we have we got Jehovah's Witnesses. Sometimes we have Christians, Christians do missionary, and they teach their truth. They teach the lies. They go door to door, and they teach nonsense. Now, I'm not saying go door to door to preach too. You can go door to preach truth. Oh, definitely. Definitely that. All right. All right. So let's keep going. Let's go to Exodus chapter 35. Okay, so before I read to this, we have okay. Let me just read it. I'm reading. I'm reading. I'm reading verse 1. And Moses gathered all the assembly of the children of Israel together, and said unto them, these are the words which Yahuwah has commanded, that you should do them. 6 days work should be done. Kind of like I read earlier in Exodus chapter 20, Genesis chapter 1, chapter 2. Right? Okay. But on the seventh day, there shall be to you a set apart day. Now I know it says holy. Holy is a pagan word which came from a goddess named Holi, Holi, well, she's a goddess of the sun, I think, or the moon. And she has to do with religious uh, uh, rituals or something through her. Okay, remember, every moon and sun worship have different deities connected to them, which is through different religions and or celestial religions. Okay, so it really supposed to be kadush or English set apart. All right, so be to you a set apart day, a Sabbath of rest to Yahuwah. Whosoever does work in it, therein should be put to death. We know that, right? You shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations on the Sabbath. Now, here's the problem because people try to squeeze their way in thinking that because I used to do that. I used to cook on Sabbath, but we're not supposed to do that. But here's the thing: you got people that say it is okay if you have um, no, they say kindle a fire means arguments. No, that's not what that means. Let's look at the word kindle. Let's look up kindle. Let's see what that is. Okay, kindle. All right. Okay, kindle means to light or set on fire or light a fire, right? Okay. Kindle also means to it's of an emotion to be aroused. Okay, of an emotion to be aroused, aroused or inspire, emotion or feeling. Okay, so it's an emotional thing, but also not talking about lighting a fire. So in this situation, we are not to cook because if we stop here for a minute, let's stop here. Let's go right back to last night when I went to Exodus 16. Let's go there again so we can make sure you understand this. So let's go back to Exodus 16. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's go back. So it says in Exodus chapter 16, verse 23. Let's read again. I'll read again. And he said to them, this is which Yahuwah has said, um, Tomorrow is the rest of the Sabbath. So he says tomorrow. In other words, it's already the day of preparation, or the night as a preparation. Same thing. Okay. Because you have a day and a night, right? Until Yahuwah bake that which you will bake or cook. Bake. You know, modern times we can bake or cook. Same thing. Maybe saying because they had no stoves at the time. All right. Bake today and see that you will see that which remains over, lay up you to be kept until the morning. See that? So this tells us we definitely cannot cook. We cannot bake on the Sabbath day. Okay. So now folks may say, can't use a microwave. You can, but I prefer that because microwaves are dangerous. Microwaves have a lot of radiation. You want radiator food, do you? It's bad for you. Okay. Me and my lady would use a toast oven. That's perfect to use that. Just to warm your food up. That's fine. That's healthy. Folks think you use a stove. You can't use a stove because under it, fire comes up. So when you use a toaster oven, fire don't come up. You just see an orange looking light. That's the heat thing. It heats your food up. That's all. That's all. You don't see any fire in the toaster oven. You don't see that. Now the challenge is people say, what if I have an electric stove? Okay. That one is a yes no. That one is a yes no. I wouldn't do it though, because he don't want to cook. So if we had electric stove, I won't even still cook. I won't even do it because I just read about. He said, look, bake what you got to bake. Next day is your Sabbath. Eat it. Don't cook. So even have electric stove. Not me and my lady or future sister wives won't even cook. Not even my sons and daughters. You don't have son. I have one son, but future sons and daughters won't even do it either. Okay, or they family, they won't do it either. Okay, so it's just best to just simply not cook. Okay, leave it for what it is. You eat some snacks on the Shabbat if you don't feel like wanting food. Eat snacks. Eat some fruit. Or how about a diet plan? Have y'all noticed that? Have a diet plan. Did y'all notice Shabbat day's like a diet day anyway? It's kind of like a diet day. So for most people who keep the Shabbat really well, they eat raisins, oranges, apple. They might lose a few pounds. Yeah, that's cool to do. Do that. Drink water. Drink water all day. Yeah. Drink some juice. Take your vitamins. Eat an oatmeal. Mm-hmm. You got to keep eating a heavy meal. I mean, you can eat a meal. I mean, that's considered a meal. When you eat your fruits and veggies, put in the plate, that's a meal. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, something like that. It's not hard to do, man. I know folks love to cook, but we got to hang it. He asked for one day, just one day. One, not two. One day, don't cook. All right. So we understand that. Okay. Let's go to the book of Banmadabar, or the book of Numbers. That's after Leviticus, right? Excuse me. Okay, so this is about working out. Can we work out on a Shabbat? Let's find out. Remember, it's a rest day. It's a rest day. Okay, it's a day of rest. So let's go to verse 32. Numbers 15, verse 32. But Madbar. Okay. And while the children of Yashrael were in the wilderness, they found a man that was gathering sticks on the Sabbath. Let me stop real quick because this kind of reminded me of the gym. I remember people they do a lot of bow movements, bowing down, bowing themselves down, moving around, and bowing down to the waist and pushing it to strengthen your sides, your quads, your legs, right? So think about that. Think about the word gather. When you gather, you bow. Yeah, like Christmas. Now you get the gifts. You bow to the tree, right? You gather. When you gather, you got to bend down and get it. So this brother was like bowing. He was just doing this. And when you do this all the time, you losing. You sweating. So think about that. That's like working out, right? A man that gathers sticks on the Sabbath. Verse 33. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him into Moses and Aaron and to all the assembly. And they put him inward because it was not declared what should be done to him. Verse 35. And Yahuwah said to Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the assembly should stone him with stones without the count. All the assembly brought him without the count and stoned him with stones. He died as Yahuwah commanded Moses. Okay? They stoned him to death. It was Yahuwah's judgment. Okay? Because he was working out. The brother's probably gathering 50 sticks. Who knows? 20. I don't know. I don't know why he was gathering sticks for, but this is kind of like working out. Okay? So we have to be mindful of that. I know people think that's the best day. It's not. The best day can be a first day of the week to work out. Some people off on first day of the week or Sunday. It could be after work you can work out. I do that. I mean, most cases I get out of work, I refreshen up, I go to the gym, be there for like an hour or so. Do Uber, but now I get to go home. Praise God. Okay. So we're not to work out, fellas. Okay, we're not to work out. We gotta be mindful of that. Wait until the end of Shabbat. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Self-explanatory, right? And then let's go to the book of Jubilees. Oh, Yabalum or Jubilees, chapter 50. Chapter 50. Chapter 50. All right. Praise God. How to keep the Sabbath. How do you keep it? Okay, let's go to verse. Let's start in verse 8. No, let's start verse 6. We're better off. Making more sense here. And behold, the commandment regarding the Sabbath taught or Sabbath, I have written them down for you, and all the judgments of his Torah. 6 days shall you labor, on the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah. In it you should do no manner of work, you and your sons, your manservants, also daughters too. Probably next to sons, but I know it's not written there, but we're definitely daughters, of course. Maid servants and all your cattle, and a sojourner, also who is with you. And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whosoever desecrates that day, whosoever lies with his woman, and whosoever says he will do something on it, and he was set on a journey. Let me start real quick. I'm going a little too fast here. First of all, let's look up that word Desecrate. So desecrate means treat a set apart thing with violent disrespect. Violate. Desecrate. All right. Doing things sinfully on a Shabbat. So, and then when it talks about lying with his woman, okay, that's talking about sex. Yeah, let's talk about sex. That's no different with fornication. Okay, we are not to fornicate or make love to our wife on the Shabbat. Okay, because that's considered work. Because when you penetrate your woman and she penetrates, well, excuse me, and she maybe on top of you, whatever, you're sweating. You get about to sweat. That's working. Okay, so we're not to do that. All right. Same thing. No different with fornication. Bestiality. Okay, we're not to do that. Not to have sex with animals, and men sleep with men, women sleep with women. We're not to do that either. Okay. All right. We're not to do that. Now the problem is though, you have some men and some women, they get irritated because they can't have sex on the Shabbat. I mean, this is Yahuwah's day. What I mean, why are you getting upset? Hang in there until tomorrow. You got some people divorced because of that. Did y'all know that? Oh my, yeah, he don't love me. It's crazy. But here he don't want us to make love. Okay? We have to hang in ourselves. Then it says that he was set on a journey thereon in regard and to buying or selling. We cannot buy or sell. Okay? We cannot do business in a Shabbat. Okay, that's what they're saying. That he was set out on a journey. Now, set out on a journey, it's kind of like saying like traveling, like going out to do a business trip, a party. Now, I'm not saying that you could take your car and drive it, like go far up north, you know, to do ministry or to meet somebody to teach. That's fine. Or to meet an old time loved one that you used to like back in high school, and you want to meet him or her. That's fine. Because in your mind, you're like, okay, man, I can go ahead and give this person the truth. That's fine. Okay. Yahushua don't travel. We'll deal with that. You can travel, but don't travel like that. You know what I'm talking about? Don't travel to do something regularly like on a work day. Not that's not what we're supposed to do. Okay. Remember, we gotta do things spiritually. Spiritually. Okay. I remember somebody was asking, what about hanging out with somebody? Let's say they had a party and they want you to teach them. That's fine. You can go ahead and go to a party, but as long as you're not keeping doing the party like things, like drinking a lot, eating a birthday cake, eating chicken, greens, cornbread, macaroni, make you hungry. That's fine. If you got no food in your home, you ain't stupid. That's fine. You can eat them, but they expect you to teach them. So don't be shocked. You in there, they cut the radio off. They cut it off, and they like, y'all, come on, here you go, and they ready for you to teach them. That's beautiful. We want to prove that as well. Okay, I don't know if that was Shabbat when Yahusha turned the water to wine. I don't know if that was a Shabbat day. I don't know if it was or not. Okay, but we have to be strong in that. Okay, no different um, in a strip club, a bar. You go to a bar and a strip club, but only if you're there to teach. Come on now, not there to fool around with women, but if you're there to teach. A lot of men can't hang with that. Like a strip club, they just lose it. But for some brother who can hang in there, or they have another brother in the Shabbat, two brothers, and they go up in there and they just start to teach people sitting down the seat, you know what I'm saying? Or giving women a card or teaching women or rebuking women, even they're naked, half naked. And you be like, lady, What are you doing? They might have security kick you out. I don't care. But you told that sister something. She was like, damn, you know what? I need to not do that. And she might quit being a stripper next week because you gave her a little rebuking word. Come on now. So ain't nothing wrong with that, long as you don't do what they want you to do. Now I know a regular person may say, see, you're a false teacher. I'm not a false teacher. Remember, everybody needs the word, whether you look like a prostitute, whether you look poor, whether you look rich. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Trust me, some women will be okay with the word of God. They will appreciate you. And you be like, man, you ain't even making love to me. You're not having sex with me. I look so sexy. You ain't doing it. Because the brothers focus on Yahuwah. Do you understand? No different if you have a wife. Let's say your wife went together. Let's say you let your wife get in there. And she tell the ship, y'all need to stop doing it, blah, 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 blah. And you can't deal with that? Cool. Come in, we have certain strengths and weaknesses. She goes in there, she teaches the female, or, give a little sound word, give her a car. She calls his wife. She's crying to carry on. The wife is calling her down. She's praying, and she teaching her the word of Yah. Bam. You see what I'm saying? So, and some women might be interested in the man and the woman's husband. Polygyny. That's fine. Win a soul over. So again, but he says that once again, I know I kind of went way off, but my apologies. Do not lie with your wife. Verse 9, right? Um, and then, okay, let's continue. Wait, hold on. Okay, which one? Verse 7? Okay, thanks, mate. All right. And the man that does anywhere on Shaddai, whosoever desecrate or violate, that's Shabbat, right? Whosoever lies with his woman or have sex, right? Um, or whosoever says he would do something on it, that he would set on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling. Whosoever draws water thereon, which he had not prepared for himself on the sixth day. Whosoever takes up any burden. Whoa, let me stop this one. Just kind of rewind right back on the drawing of water. That's talking about, I know some of y'all may be kind of old fashioned. Y'all may have a well. You cannot draw water in the well on the Shabbat. Do that before the Shabbat. Okay. Draw water on day 6, not on day 7. Okay. Um, no different of collecting clean water from a clean river to create gallons of water. Did y'all know that we do have a lot of clean water in Colorado because the water sits in the sun and have a lot of vitamin D nutrient? Do that on the 6th day. Okay. Thereon, which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day. And whosoever takes up any burden to carry out on of his tent or out of his house shall die. This is talking about moving. I understand y'all want to move and on a weekend, on a Shabbat. The burden is talking about carrying couches, carrying a lot of groceries, carrying tables, heavy tables, and we can't do that. Okay, we can't do that. Even the table's not heavy. Leave it alone. Let it sit there. If it's a bed, let the bed sit there. A TV, let the TV sit. If you got a new house, wait. Do it on first day of the week and move all your things and move to your home tomorrow. Hope y'all getting this. Okay, let's read it again. Okay, let's read that portion again. Verse 9. Um, no, verse 8. Takes up any burden. Let's look at burden. Let's see what burden means. Okay, burden. Okay, burden is okay. My apologies. This is not talking about a heavy item. This is not talking about a light item. It's about a heavy item. Burden means a load, typically a heavy one. So my apologies. My apologies, okay? So for example, if you take the garbage out, that's okay because it's not a heavy burden. You take garbage out. But long if something's heavy, you ain't supposed to do that. Okay? Not supposed to do that. If you have dirty clothes, you want to lift it out the closet, put another, that's fine because it's not heavy, right? A load, typically a heavy one. Okay? Because I understand people's garbage is full, it stinks. Check it out. Let's say a mess I got full on the Shabbat. That's fine. Check it out. Take garbage out. That's fine. It's not heavy. Okay. No difference. Somebody vomited on the floor. You can clean that up. That's fine. Don't let it sit there. Clean it up. Okay. Somebody got sick. Throw in the garbage. Okay. Also, if somebody need help moving, don't do it. I meant to say that too. Especially if we have like chairs, a lot of bags that's kind of heavy or heavy. Don't do it. That's why people need to learn how to obey the Shabbat, man. Move on a day that is workable. Move on a work day. That's all. Move on a work day. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth are work days. Okay. So take some burden, carry out of his tent, out of his house, Shaddai. Okay. Let's go to now let's keep going. This is a lot of detail. It's really good. A lot of information here. Okay. Verse 9. You shall do no work whatsoever on the Shabbat, save what you have prepared for yourself on the sixth day, so as to eat and drink and rest and guard the Sabbath. For all work on that day to favor Yahuwah, who has given you a day of feast and a set apart day, and a day of the set apart kingdom. For all Yisrael, it's a day of among their days forever. This is important too because this let us know that we are not to fast on the Sabbath. Oh my goodness, we are not to fast. I'm talking about a natural fast. We is not to fast on the Sabbath, man, because he said it's a feast day. When it's a feast day, you got to eat. That's a feast, right? Never fast on a Sabbath, please. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, folks may be poor, got nothing to eat. You ain't gonna punish them because they can't help it. They don't have nothing to eat. But that's why I tell you, help the poor. Take care of the poor. They can't find anything to eat barely. So you got to eat. Don't fast. Don't do it. Verse 10, for great is the honor which who has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this feast day. See that? Right? And rest thereon from all labor, which belongs to the labor of the children of men, save burning frankincense and bring oblations and sacrifice before Yahuwah for the days of Shabbat. In other words, you can light a candle. You can light a candle. We barely do that, but you can't light candles. Well, I do light a candle, make our place smell good. But some folks light up the menorah. That's fine, based on the feast days, and pray to Yahuwah. That's fine. Praise to Him. But don't light up a lot of candles. That's kind of weird. Because when you light up a lot of candles, something's wrong with that. Because that's what people do when people practice Wicca, um, do necromancy, do seances. They light up a lot of candles. So I ain't talking about that. Not that. Okay. Verse 11. This work alone shall be done on the Sabbath in the sanctuary of Yahuwah. Now, sanctuary in our time is talking about our body. Okay, our bodies, not the church, not a church. There's so many go to a church institution. That's not what they're saying here. Our bodies is a temple or sanctuary now. Okay, your place is your sanctuary. Did y'all know that? Your house is like your sanctuary or your apartment. okay, or your huts, condominium, mansion, shelter, okay, that they may atone for Yashrael with the sacrifice continually from day to day for a memorial well pleased for Yahuwah, and that he may receive them always from day to day according as you have been commanded. You notice it says atone. That is talking about dealing with your sins. Did y'all know a Sabbath day is a day of cleansing? Did you know a Sabbath day is a day of repentance? Every Sabbath day is a chance to get a better week. Y'all know that? Let's look at atone. Look at this. Atone. Yeah, so I just wanted y'all to know that. It means to make amends, reparation. So let's look at the word amends. Amends means to compensate or make up for wrongdoing. Okay, like paying for your price, like forgiving you. Okay, like a propitiation. You know, your sins forgiven. You know, so it means to make better. It means to improve. See that? Now you get why. Now you get why we can do certain things with Shabbat. It's for the atonement. It's for to atone yourself, to make better yourself. And then reparation. Reparation. To make amends of the wrong one has done by paying money or otherwise helping those who have been wrong. The action of repairing something. Okay. So that's what that is. Sorry about that, guys. Brought the laptop. There we go. All right. So that's what that is. So it's a day of atonement, reparation, or amends. So you may have a bad week, and let's say you don't know Yahuwah, somebody invited you for the Shabbat, you follow it, and all of a sudden you get really inspired to want to get better because that man or his family, they keep in Shabbat in such a way, you become inspired to want to keep it, and you be inspired to want to live right. Because let's say I invite somebody to Shabbat, I'm playing video games all day. That's why that person don't want to keep the Shabbat. Y'all not getting this. Come on. This is deep. This is deep, man. That's why he wants to keep it spiritually, to awaken others, to be atoned for their sins. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch out. Well, watch out. Watch out. All right. So let's go to Isaiah or Yashayahu. Okay, so we're going to go to chapter 17. And we're going to go to verse no, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Isaiah 58. That's for Jeremiah 17. All right, Isaiah 58. And let's go to verse 13. Okay. If you turn your foot away from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my set apart day. Let me stop there. Okay. Turning your foot away means you playing video games, watching a lot of TV. That's turning your foot away. You're going out to see negative people in your life, and they cause you to sin. You're watching Netflix, watching movies from YouTube, um, gossiping about people. You gossip about people. Um, Let me see what else. My goodness, on Facebook all day. Unless you're on Facebook at a group and they teach the truth that I'm teaching, that's fine. That's different. That is completely fine. Especially if there's a brother that's doing video chat and he's teaching the word and it lasted somehow 6 hours, that's fine. That's fine. Going out um, to a trip, you go to Florida on a weekend. I mean, on a Shabbat, you go to Florida to do negative things, like you used to do on a work day. That's selling, okay. Um, oh, doing errands. Oh boy, I know that's a tough one. Be like, well, I gotta pay my bill. Well, pay your bill tomorrow. But doing errands. That's turning your foot from the Shabbat, man. Doing errands, doing objective that you could have did that on day 6. Errands like paying electric bill, checking your email, and you got to call this business. There's some type of company. Calling them and talking about some. No, that's turning your foot away. Okay. Now, looking at your email to be curious, that's one thing. That's nothing. But I'm talking about getting deep in your email. Like, oh shoot, oh boy, la, 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 la. You know what happened? Because usually what happens when we check our email and we got something going on, we get stressed out. Hello. And we get stressed out. And then how about checking your mail, looking in your mailbox on a Shabbat? Because you never know what's the name make you stressed out. I don't look at I don't check I don't usually check the mail in the mailbox. I leave it alone. I try to get away from the mailbox because it could be some bad news. I leave it alone. I don't like checking the mailbox. I check on day 1. I leave that mailbox alone. Okay. I don't care if it's a package. That package came in, whatever. But I'm not checking that mailbox. Hello, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, sir. I take the package. But I don't check the mailbox. Okay. That's doing your own thing. Turn foot. Check that tomorrow. Okay. That's all right. I know it's hard now. I know, especially the video games. I get it. It's tough. And the TV. I know that. But that's doing your own thing. That's turning foot away from the Shabbat. I'm telling you. I mean, now if you watching something educational on your phone, that's cool. Or watch some education on your TV, educational only, not to get entertained, but educational. That's fine. But we have to do things strongly in Yahuwah. We have to make sure He's pleased. Okay. Um, Also, watching scary movies, watching action movies. Leave that alone till tomorrow. I know. We gotta be real thoughtful of Yahuwah. We gotta be careful. We watching on TV. That's why we don't watch TV. Now, I used to do that, but not anymore. Okay. Even your children. I don't care to get tipping tantrum. They have to obey mom and dad. Okay. They have to but to obey. Even if you have company that's coming over, they're like, dang man, you got no TV on. Who are you, a cult? What are you trying to worship the devil? No. This Shabbat. You want to learn it? Sure. Yeah, why not? You're teaching what the Shabbat is. You're teaching the truth, right? It's all talking about if somebody come in your home and bring liquor and you call about it. That's turning your foot from the Shabbat. You're not supposed to have liquor. In other words, heavy liquor in your home and getting drunk. They can have beer and wine. I mean, but not heavy liquor because you'll be drinking all up, get drunk. People get drunk on the Shabbat. So we're not to do our own thing, get liquor, or find somebody have heavy liquor in your house. Now it's okay if somebody bring some wine or bring some juice from their place left over and have a Shabbat meeting, have a Shabbat family. That's fine. That's completely fine to have a Shabbat celebration. That's fine. But we're talking about not doing things that you do during the workday. Okay, so we have to be real mindful of that. I'm trying to think more about this too. Um, how about conversation? Speaking deals to people on the phone, making bets. No, we're not going to do that. That's take your foot away from the Shabbat. That's why people get murdered, and this why people get murdered anyway on the seventh day because people make bets and deals in basketball and football and certain sports and even DraftKings and your phone and tablet. Leave that stuff alone. They have nothing to do with Yahuwah, man. That have nothing to do with Yah. I'm sorry. All of that is to wait. I mean, I'm not condoning betting. We got to leave that stuff alone, man. That's not about the Shabbat. That's not going to help you to atone for your sins. That's not going to inspire you to get better. Remember, this is a day of rest. This is a day of giving Yahuwah his time. And see, the reason why some of us don't want to keep the Shabbat because the flesh is so heavy on us. It's used to what we used to do when we were young. We just like to do things we want to do on a Shabbat, right? Spending the night in your parents' place. In other words, like you go there, they got the TV on, video games. Guess what happened? You might get tempted. You might get tempted to play video games. You know you could play video games. You go there in the Shabbat morning. Oh, I miss my parents. Oh my goodness. Right? Now it's different. Don't get me wrong. If they keep the Shabbat, oh, you good. You can spend time with them. They keep the Shabbat. Okay. Now, unless you want to go there at night, the TV's off. There you go. Go to sleep and and spend time with your parents on day one. Now I know somebody think like this guy is crazy. I'm not crazy. No, I am crazy. I'm crazy for the truth. Yeah, I am. I am. Okay. I'm just saying we have to do things that's spiritual because they say we did that. This might bring questions to your parents. They might be like, how do you do it? I want to learn that, but it's hard. Man, you don't watch TV? Damn, you don't play video games? Wow. Man, you don't go to the store? Wow. They might be interested in what you're doing. You never know. And they might just get used to that. And Yahuwah is with them too. All right. You turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my set apart day. All right. Um, and call the Sabbath a delight, set apart of Yahuwah, honorable, and shall honor him. Not doing your own ways. We already got on that. Not doing your own ways. Finding your own pleasure. Okay, let me stop there. This is talking about having an appointment to have sex with prostitutes, escorting prostitutes, having friends with benefits. Because it happens most of the time anyway on the Shabbat. Men and women are ready to see each other and screw the hell out of each other. Right? Watching food movies. They go to a restaurant, eat like pigs, and they have sex on the Shabbat. I know that happens all the time. I don't know. I was a victim. I used to do that. I used to do that when I was young. I used to do this crap all the time. Trust me, it feel good. You meet somebody, a chick live with her mom place, their parents gone, she there looking sexy. Y'all know your brother, you know what I'm talking about. She look real good, and we get so excited. We eating at her place all day, all night. She cooking meals and and stuff like that. Playing video games, having sex 2 or 3 times a day. The next day, the brother go home to his parents or go to his place. It happens all the time. So we are not to do that. That's called finding your own pleasure. Okay. Watching porn. That's finding your own pleasure. You cannot watch pornography on the Shabbat. Okay. We cannot masturbate on the Shabbat. That's finding your own pleasure. We cannot masturbate on the Shabbat. Okay. Um, we cannot pay for women to see their ass, their feet, their vagina. Okay. People do that on Instagram and the Shabbat. We're not supposed to do that. That's finding your own pleasure. We are not to ask a man for his penis on the Shabbat or a woman for his butt in the Shabbat, breast, face, feet, just to masturbate on the Shabbat. That's finding your own pleasure. Okay, this is that's what it is. Does not pleasure has to do with make yourself feel good? Yeah. Okay, it's different. You praise your wife. That's different. Like, oh, honey, you look good. Like pajamas. Like your painted toes again. Cool. That's different. That's your wife. Or you tell your second wife that. But I'm talking about strangers, man. Like online porn. We're not supposed to do that. Okay, that is a no-no. That's a no-no. Okay, that is a no-no. Now, if a man act goofy and touch his wife's butt, that's different. He's just being goofy. He's not being turned on by it, and she laughing. That's cool. But I'm talking about something that turns you on and you lose focus and you mess around and masturbate. Look, you just did your own pleasure right here. That's we got to be careful with that, man. Okay, that's called groping. We're not supposed to grope a woman or grope your wife to be tenth made love to her. Get way to in the Shabbat. Then it says, nor speaking your own words. Now this is a problem. This right here is a big problem. Right here. I used to miss, man, I used to fail this a lot. This is talking about arguments, complaining, talking out of stress, talking out of anger. What happened last night? Why are you talking so much about what happened last night, last week? Talking about sports all day. Now, I know that's a tough one. That's not viewer. We cannot talk about sports. Leave it alone. We cannot talk about video games. We got to talk about only thing that's spiritual. But this says speaking your own words. It's about sports is part of it. Okay. Um, speaking things that's flesh, that's wicked. Okay. Sports is wicked. Yeah. Now, how folks about sports, people argue down because you like a certain team, and they be like, "Hey, remember that bet you made, dude? Yeah, you see my $50. It's on a Shabbat day. You argue about $50, dude? Really? That's speaking your own words about the sport thing. That's why I say it's wicked. We got to leave that alone. Talk about sports another time. Now I like sports, but I don't talk about it like that. I leave that alone. Okay, I don't talk about sports. I don't care if it's the playoffs of NFL, NBA. I don't talk about that until the Shabbat's done. My mind's on about Yahuwah. That's it. I don't talk about no damn sports. I don't talk about my job all day. Not that either. I don't talk about money like that. I don't keep talking about my business. I leave that stuff alone because that is a normal fleshly thing. Talk about that tomorrow or day 2, day 3. In other words, we just need to speak spiritual. Okay, this is why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, what I do in my spare time, and Dolly's my witness. I get up, I eat. She warm up the food. You know what I'm saying? We have drinks. We drink water, juice, beer. We won't get drunk beer. We drink, ginger beer. I don't know if you heard of that. We have a good time. I teach her the word. I do praise and worship. I blow the shofar, the ram's horn. I teach to him. I study the word of Yahuwah. I chat with a few people on Instagram, see how they doing. You know what I'm saying? Even though another sister, another sister interested in us, I don't say her name, but I talk to her sometimes, check on her, see how she doing. On my day, nighttime come, I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I don't do anything extra. Try to be careful. Now, sometimes we go out and teach the word of Yah, and sometimes we go to the woods. And and I'm gonna go in the woods, by the way. Y'all should go to the woods sometime in Shabbat. You'd be amazed how beautiful it is. You just take a walk in the woods, you know, for a little bit, maybe hot, you sweat, but ain't mean working. But taking a walk, there's nothing wrong with that. Take a walk, you enjoy Yahuwah's creation, you enjoy the wind, you pray to Yahuwah, you read His word or something. You go to YouTube educational video. You know, but before you leave, you get a smoothie from your refrigerator. You take that with you for the woods. You drink a smoothie, get a drink of water. You know what I mean? That's a healthy spiritual living, man. You know what I'm saying? Some folks say walks in the block. How about that? Say walks in the block. You may see somebody that have a need. You stop, baby, like, hey man, look, bro, you look like you know what I'm saying? I saw you was kind of down, bro. You know what I'm saying? You need prayer. That brother would appreciate you praying for him on a week, on a 7 day. Like, man, people barely come to me like that. So you'd be amazed how you just take a few walk outside, a few blocks, and you might run into somebody that may need you to pray for them, teach them, or give something to eat, or give them some money, or invite them to your house, your apartment, to teach them the word of Yah if they need it. Okay, for a little bit. Shabbat is a day of atonement. It's like Atone Day. It's a day of helping others. It's a day of rest. Okay, so we got to be careful of what we are saying. Let's keep going. Jeremiah 17. What about Hashem Yehovah? Thank you. Okay, let's go to verse 21. It says, "Thus says Yah, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath." So you go another witness, Yirmiyahu. Okay, we talked about that earlier in the book of Jubilees, chapter 50, right? Okay. And bear no burden on the Sabbath, nor bring it in the gates of Jerusalem. Okay. So in other words, we're not to travel and bring heavy things on somebody else, on another city, or especially rules like it says here. Okay, we're not to do that. Okay. Verse 22: Neither carry forth a burden out of your homes on a Shabbat, neither do any work, but set apart it on a day of Shabbat. I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. I remember one day. I ain't gonna say her name, but I remember I was married and I was living at her mom's place, and she knew about the Shabbat. She knew about everything. She knew, even though we was in error, we thought we had it right, but I know we put not put to a burden, right? So her mom, I remember we was over, we lived at her mom's place, and so she did this heavy grocery shopping. I was like angry, like I was indignated. She have a audacity to my son. Going to have my mother out those bags. I'm like, excuse me, I'm not helping out those bags. Don't you remember we not to carry the burden? We not to keep carrying bags, carrying the burden. The lady got upset. My ex-wife, she got upset with me because I didn't want to do that. Well, you talk about a damn knockout, drag out. I'm like, are you kidding me? You wrong, and you wrong, and you wrong. You wrong. Knowing that her mom had another man at the place coming on his way and supposed to me carrying the bags. I'm like, no, you lost your damn mind. Arguing because I want to carry burdens upstairs. Those bags look heavy. A lot of canned goods, heavy can. I mean, I'm like, what are you doing? Arguing, just ridiculous, ridiculous. It's crazy. And the reason I'm saying it because I know mothers, grandmothers, they love the 7 day shopping. Y'all got to stop doing that. It's not it's not good. Okay. Now let's go to Ezekiel or Ezekiel chapter 20. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Let's go to verse 13. This reminds me of people teaches religion on a Shabbat. That's the problem. Let's go and read it. But the house of Yashrael, okay, rebel against me. In the wilderness, they walk not in my ways or statutes, right? And they despise my judgments, which if a man do, he should even live in them. And my Shabbat, they greatly polluted, they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to destroy them. But I worked or wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before the heathen, in whose sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand and to them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them to land for bring them into the land which I have given them, um, flowing with milk and honey, which the esteem of all lands, because they despise my judgments and walked in my statutes, walked not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbath. How they polluted it? Well, their heart went after their gods, their idols. Did y'all hear that? Okay. So even Yahuwah gets upset when we are backsliding and become religious again on the Sabbath. That's why people get murdered on the Sabbath. And some of these people are religious people. Yes, I said it. People who know about the scripture, heard about it, and want to follow it, they just get to these curses. Now, I'm not trying to sound mean. I'm not trying to sound like that. I'm just speaking you the truth. That's the only thing I'm doing. It happens every Shabbat. You got people that go to institutions on the seventh day. And I'm talking about those who have heard the truth, but they still refuse. And they still go to the church on the seventh day and then on first day of the week. I used to go through that experience when I was a Christian. We even had so-called church services on the Shabbat. And I used to go. Yeah. So you got folks doing that crap, you know. Then after that, they do their thing. They cook. They go to work at night on a Shabbat. Unbelievable, man. These folk, they know about the truth. They know about it. They don't want to live it. Let's keep going, man. It's getting deep already. Verse 17. Nevertheless, my eyes spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. Well, because he did that, because he did a promise. So Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, that's why he destroyed the Yashvalites, the whole house of Yashua. I'm glad he didn't do that because I wouldn't even be here. Okay? Other so-called black people wouldn't be here. All right, so let's keep going. Verse 18. When I said unto their children in the wilderness, walk you not in the statute of your dads, neither observe their judgments, nor make yourself dirty or defile yourselves, with their idols. Remember, when you defile yourself in a spirit, you have this. You have the spirit in you. You got demons in you. Okay. All right. Verse 19. I am Yahuwah. Walk in my ways, my statutes, and guard my judgments and do them, and set apart my Sabbath. Yahuwah don't play, man. You know he like repeat that all over a lot. That's why keeping the Sabbath 6 days to work, because this thing is deep. The Sabbath is a deep feast, much as the other feast, like the Passover, Feast of Weeks, Shavuot, Feast of Trumpets. Okay, it's much important as those two. Okay, let's keep going. And they shall be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am Yahuwah. Okay, so remember I said in the beginning that the Shabbat is a sign of salvation, sign between you and Yahuwah. Okay, you are elected of Yah when you keep His commandments. Okay, He got you. He's going to save you. All right, just circling those verses, pretty good too. Good thing I remember them. All right, circle them. Okay. 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 So we know that, right? Polluted, 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 polluted. That's what they did. Get a chance to make it up, right? Keep this in mind, fellas. No religion supports Sabbath. I'm gonna say it again. No religion supports it. Nobody said, listen. I don't care who you. No religion supports it. When you know the truth, you're going to support Shabbat. Shabbat. So ponder that. Ponder that. Okay. Don't get me wrong. You may have people that call themselves Christians and they keep the Shabbat of Yahuwah, but they still keep it wrong. Okay. They think it starts from what is that, morning to night. I don't know how they do it, man. But if I'm wrong, forgive me. But religion is not going to support that, right? Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sharach. Let's go to chapter 17, Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 17. Uh, oh, I thought you were saying it. It's it's kind of behind. Yes, behind Esther. Go back. Ecclesiastica and Ecclesiastes kind of tricky words, but they like similar words, right? So it's just funny how they are. Just go further. It's after. Okay, so it's after knowledge of Solomon, or it says wisdom of Solomon, but it's after knowledge of Solomon, and it's before the book of Ruth. No, it's before the book of Songs of Solomon and Ruth. There you go. All right, so go to chapter 17. I need to stop sending this stuff, man, please. Let's go to verse 1. The reason I'm going to go here because this reminds me that how we got the ability to follow the Shabbat by Yahuwah's power. Check this out. Verse 1. Yah created man on the earth and women, right? So we know he created them, right? And oh, sorry. Yeah, check out. Right. So I'll read verse 1 again. I'll read verse 1. It says, Yahuwah created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them a few days in a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves and made them according to his image. You see that? So he gave us strength. These are those who who going to keep it. Okay. But the funny thing is, he gave everybody strength. But the problem is, people have made decision to do what they want. Remember, you're getting us a free will. Anybody can keep the Shabbat. Even the presidents can keep the Shabbat. Yeah, that's deep. Even you know, um, people in Illuminati can keep the Shabbat. Anybody keep the Shabbat. But remember, everybody have a will to do wrong or do right. Okay, it's in you, but people don't want to keep it. Okay, which makes sense, right? Huh. Let's keep going. And made them according to his image, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave them dominion over the beasts and fowls. Verse 5, they received the use of 5 operations of Yahuwah, and the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and the 7th speech and interpreter of the cogitations thereof. That's deep. He gets 5 senses. Main one is our spirit, sense, 6th sense, right? Counsel and a tongue, eyes, ears, and a heart. That's it, right? Um, gave he them to understand. See that? Come on. Withal, he filled them with knowledge of understanding and showed them good and evil, how to separate between good and evil, right? He set his eye upon their hearts, whew, and that he might show them the greatness of his works. Look at that. He gave them to esteem in his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding. Verse 10, elect shall praise his set apart name. Verse 11, besides this, he gave them knowledge and a Torah of life for heritage. Verse 12, he made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments. What does this have to do with Shabbat? Simple. It was he that gave us the strength. It was he gave us the senses, eyes, ears, mouth, everything to understand, to comprehend the Shabbat, to maintain his covenant. That's like parents to children. When children do right, they get out the bed on time to eat breakfast. No different how we do that to Yahuwah. We get up on certain times. We please the Father. We don't be sluggish. We keep his Shabbat. Praise Yah. This is why I don't like to get up afternoon of Shabbat. I get up in the morning because I know it's time for me to get up to bed. Just like how we obey the Father, like he's our parent. Okay? Praise Yah. I just want to get to that. Because without this stuff I read, we won't even be able to comprehend anything. So that's why giving us eyes and ears and everything to use for his purpose, especially for the Shabbat. Praise Yah. Okay, so I think I'm ready to go to the new covenant. Yeah, we are. Let's go to Mark. Now we're going to be dealing with Yahusha. Yahusha kept the Shabbat very well. And we look at some of his examples of how he kept it. This is what I call eating out. Remember I said earlier in my disclaimer, expressing that people think that you can't go outside to eat. You can go outside, you can eat. And like I said, if somebody invites you to eat, you can go ahead and eat, but as long as you don't disobey the Shabbat, that's all. That's all. As long as you do what you got to do, right? Eat. You can teach them. You can say hi's and your buys. How you doing? How's life? Okay. Go to your phone, listen to study video. You're not looking at that TV. You just look at your phone or listen to videos, or you sit there to teach your parent or your cousin, brother, or maybe a so-called friend that's related to your brother, I mean, not Rachel, but somebody your brother know. Okay. All right. So Mark chapter, I think chapter 2. Okay. Verse 23. It says, chapter 2. That's no highlights too. And it came to pass that after that, excuse me, that he went through the fields on the Shabbat. You see that? Okay, so he went through the fields in the Shabbat, and his disciples began as they went to pluck heads of grain. Okay, so you can definitely go out and eat fruit and vegetables outside of your garden or outside, you know, another field with fruits and vegetables. You can eat somebody's offering. If somebody gave you something to eat, eat from them. It could be from your wife's sister. Let's say she cooked the meal. Let's say she keep the Shabbat. Um, well, I don't know. I'm tripping. Sorry, they may say that. Let's say she warmed her a meal, and we missed something we ate a long time. We go to her place instead, and we eat her meal, and we taught her more of the word of Yahuwah, and she rejoices. That's like an example when they went out to get something to eat. All right, let's keep going. And the Pharisees or the Padashum saying to him, "Behold, why do they on the Shabbat that which is not lawful?" This reminds me of the Quakers, y'all. Remember, the Quakers, they keep the commandments added on top of the commandments. Once we're taken away. These remind me of Quakers. Now they tripping because they went outside. Are you kidding me? They went outside to get grains of pluck out grain. You kidding me, right? This reminds me of people today. We got people, they make a big deal. Like, for example, they say that, um, you got to carry a cane, a staff to prove that you're in Shabbat. That's added to the law. You ain't keep no damn staff. Okay, you don't gotta do that. And then they say, you can fast, you gotta fast on the Day of Atonement on Shabbat. No, you do not. You see what I'm saying? This is added to the word. That's a lie. You gotta eat every Sabbath. You got to eat every Sabbath. You got to drink every Sabbath. Verse 25. And he said to them, "Have you ever read what David did when he had need and was hungry, he and they that were with him? How he went into the house of Yahuwah, or the temple, or the tabernacle, in the days of Abiathar the high priest, and he did eat the showbread of Yahuwah." Excuse me, which is not lawful to eat, but for the priest, and gave to them which served with him. And he said to them, "The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for a Sabbath." Did you hear that? What is that saying? Yahuwah, that's Yahuwah's day, not man's day of Shabbat. That's what they're saying. See that? The Sabbath was made for man from Yahuwah, and not the man of Shabbat. Verse 28. Therefore, a son of Adam is master also of the Shabbat. Meaning, in other words, Yahusha is responsible for the Shabbat. Okay? So when people say, um, telling you doing, like, let's say you help somebody out in a Shabbat, like you help somebody with food, money, or you help their leg, so hurt their leg, you invite to your house, and you help him or her with a first aid kit. They say you ain't supposed to do that. That's that's adding to the word. That that's wrong. Okay. When they say don't do that, they wrong for saying don't do that. You can help people on the Shabbat. All right. Um, all right. So Let's go to Mark chapter 6, please. Let's go to verse 1. Read from there. And he went out thence and came into his own country, and his time of doom or disciples follow him or followers. And when the Sabbath was come, he go to Sabbath again, he began to teach. Look at that. And the church, or quote or synagogue, quote unquote church, or temple, right? And many hearing him were astonished. They were surprised, marveled, saying, "From whence has this man these things? And knowledge is this which is given to him, even such mighty works are worked by his hands." Okay, so I'm going here saying that you can teach, and serve on the Sabbath. Let's keep going, right? Is not this the carpenter, son of Miriam, the brother Yakub, and Yosef, and Yehuda, and Shimon? Are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him. But Yosef said to him, "A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, in his own house. He could there do no mighty work, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folk and healed them." You see that? So you can help people with sickness and healings. You can cast out demons on the Shabbat. Okay, now I don't have that gift. Okay, but I do agree that the word of Yahuwah can cast out demons if you repent, right? You can cast demons out of there, can you? Okay. Verse 6, he marveled because of their unagreement, and he went around about the villages teaching. Okay. All right. Um, let's go to Mark um, chapter 15. And let's sorry. I'm sorry. Let's go to chapter 16, please. Verse 1. My fault. Okay. And when the Sabbath was passed, Miriam Migdal, Miriam, mother of Yakub, Shilum, had brought sweet spices that they come and on him very early in the morning of the Sabbath. They came to Pokri, Raja's son, and they said among themselves, "Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of Sepulchre, or the room of the grave, like the grave?" And they looked and they saw the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. And entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment, and they were afraid or frightened. They said to them, "Be not frightened. You seek Yahusha, not to whom he was murdered. He is risen. He is not here." And I know it says crucified. That's a pagan word for the cross. So we could say he was hung or murdered. Okay, in the tree. Anyway, it said he is risen. He is not here. Behold, the place where they laid him. Verse 7. But go your way, tell his disciples, and Peter, that he goes for you in Galilee, and there shall you see him, and he said to you. So the reason I'm saying reading this because you can also um, I used to doubt this wrong, but you can go to funerals. You go to funerals on the Shabbat. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. They were they probably were sad at one point. And they went to the grave of Yahusha. So nothing wrong with going to a cemetery. Um, now, don't talk to look, like I said, it's a Shabbat, man. Okay, don't talk to the person that's dead. You can just look at it. Can't express. Um, what I'm saying? Just look at it. Okay. If you crying, that's fine. If you crying because you couldn't help it, that's okay. But don't talk to the person that's dead. You talk to a spirit. Okay. Remember, demons who act like the dead people. They do. Okay. They do. I'm not lying. This is true, man. We cannot communicate after the dead. We have to be careful with that. Okay. I hope I'm not trying to make anybody feel more upset or sad. We have to be careful. Okay. Now with the funeral, if I were to go to funeral on the Shabbat, I probably wouldn't go too deep at it. I probably just go to funeral, um, and, and probably get something to eat and then go home. I wouldn't stay too long, dancing up music, wicked music and stuff like that. People do that stuff usually a lot. So they put on like regular. I won't even do it. Okay, because I remember in my mind, be like, okay, this is a Shabbat day. What I'm saying? I got to come home and, continuously with, going to Shabbat, unless they want to hear me talk about something important of truth, that's fine. Okay. So, and nothing wrong going to this on the funeral. Okay. Because to prove that as well, we go to John chapter 15. Okay. So let's go to John 15. Okay. Okay. Now I'm not saying that they were in a funeral, and this perspective, this chapter I want to get into. Okay. Um, I think is that the verse? Or it's chapter 11? Let me see here. Let's go ahead and get to this. Um, okay. So let's go to verse 17 in John chapter 11. John 11, verse 17. I'm going to start from there. Okay. Okay. Then when Yahushua came, he found that he had lain in the grave for 4 days already. Now this is about Lazarus. I think he was a brother of one of the Marys. Not mistaken. Okay. Um, now Bethany was nigh into Jerusalem, about 15 stating off. Verse 19. And many of the Yahudim, Hebrews, came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Right. So he's a brother of those sisters. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Yahushua was coming, went and met him. Mary, or Miriam, sat still in the house. Then said Martha to Yahushua, the leader, if you had been here, my brother had not died. Okay. But I know that even now, whatsoever you will ask of Yahuwah, um, will give it you. Yahushua said to her, your brother shall rise again. Martha said, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection of the last day. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection of life. He that agrees with me, though he were dead, and yet shall he live. And whatsoever lives and agrees in me shall never die. Do you agree with this? She said unto him, yes, leader, quote unquote master, I agree that you are the Messiah, son of Elua, which shall come into the world. And when she had so said, she went her way and called Mary, her sister, Miriam's sister, secretly saying, um, the servant is come. You know what? I don't have Rabbi right here. Rabbi is a Jewish word. Has to do with worship of Yahweh. Yahweh is not his name. So Rabbi, ignore that. Okay. It's come and calls for you. As soon as she heard that, she rose quickly and came into him. And Yahushua was not yet coming to the town. It was in that place where Martha met him. The Hebrews, quote unquote Yahudim, uh, then which were with her in the house and comforted her when they saw Mary or Mariam, that she rose up hastily went out, follow her saying, she goes into the grave to weep there. Then when Then when Miriam was come where Yahushua was and saw him, she fell at his feet, saying him, Master, if you had been here, my brother had not died. When Yahushua therefore saw her weeping, the Hebrews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in his ruach and was troubled, and said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Master, come and see. Verse 35, Yahushua wept. 36, then said the Hebrews, Behold, how he loved him. Verse 37, and some of them said, Cannot this man be wrong to open the eyes of the blind, have caused that even this man should not have died? Verse 38, Yahushua therefore again groaned himself, came to the grave, and it was a cave. A stone lay upon it. You said, Take you away the stone. Martha's sister that was dead said to him, Master, by this time he stinks, for he has been dead 4 days. Yahushua said to her, See, said not to you that, and you agree, you should see the steam of Yahuwah. Okay, so this this is another example. It's okay to weep for the dead. You can also weep for those who give you a story. Let's say I and three brothers, we went out to preach, and we say ran into a guy, and he was weeping so hard because the night prior to the Shabbat, his wife just left, and now all the bills is in his name, but he lost his business. And let's say I'm crying about it, and my other brothers crying about it. That's okay. You can have sorrows for people on the Shabbat. You can go to funerals in the Shabbat. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, being supportive. All right. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 7. And let's go to verse 10. Oh, this is good. It says, For sorrow on account of your works repentance. Okay. Then it says, To salvation, not to be repented of, but the sorrow of the world works death. Some people repent on a Shabbat, they feel sorry for their sins through the immersion. But here's the problem. Sorrow of the world works death. In other words, people complain, women get jealous on a Shabbat, men argue with their wife, they beat their wives up, sorrow of the world because she haven't given him what he wanted on a Shabbat. We not to have sorrows of the world, fellas, on the Shabbat. Men, please hear me out. Brothers, quit being abusive to your wives. Okay, when she's falling Shabbat, leave her alone. Follow Shabbat with your wife. That is sorrow of the world. It works death. Okay, that's why we have even wives that get murdered or get abused on a Shabbat. There's been cold cases on such things. We also have women that was murdering husbands over jealousy. It's crazy, man. That's sorrow of the world. It's better to have sorrow of Yahuwah. Like you feel sorry what you did, you repent, you at a brother's house. That's why it's a good thing that you can help people on the Shabbat. You can literally help people on the Shabbat. Okay? Help people spiritually. Invite folks to your house. Give them the word of Yahuwah. Immerse them. Get them to confess their sins. They become relieved. They receive the Ruach Kadosh in their spirit, in their life. Okay, you have a better heart. Okay, so we got to be clean, man. We got to be clean. Let's go to 2 John. Now, this is talking about we got to be careful of inviting religion to our home and to agree with it. We're not supposed to do that either. Okay, because I know, you got religious people knocking your door, like Jehovah's Witnesses. I think Mormons. So we got to be careful of not. We got to be careful of people like that. Now, unless people that have the truth, followers of Yahuwah, the truth, then that's different. Accept them. Okay. 2 John 1 verse 10. If there come any of you and bring not this truth, receive him or her not to your house, neither bid him plan or farewell. Verse 11, for he that bids him plan or farewell is a sharer or a partaker of his evil deeds. Be very careful, man, especially on a Shabbat. Do not invite folks in your house to deceive you. Don't do it. It's better to invite people home for you to teach them, okay? Or you come to their house so you can teach them, okay? Okay. Um, so let's be careful with that one. Now, don't get me wrong. It may be situations where people may come in they may knock your door and they may be religious, but they probably want to know what you're about. They probably want to know the truth of what you studying. That's fine. You can give them some insight. Yeah, that's fine. You give them a drink of water and be like, hey, you drink, thirsty? Oh, you want something to eat? I got some food warmed up. Yeah, sure, no problem. You might just Yahuwah might get a sting through you. You're in the truth, and they might get pricked in their heart, convinced, and they might leave their religion, and they know closer to you. You build friendships, and now they want to come to Yahuwah, and now they become disciples. Okay, so you never know, man. You just got to hold your guard up. Don't be weak now. Invite people to your house because there's a lot of deceivers out here. There's a lot of deceivers. We got to be real careful, very careful. Okay. I also want to add on for women and men out there. Even if you guys are interested of visiting somebody on a Shabbat, somebody you like, but they know you keep the Shabbat, that's fine. But cover yourself, teach them the word. I'm going to say that too. Um, unless they're not serious, then don't do it. You have a situation where people have a liking of each other, and they're like, hey, how about weekend Sabbath? We can visit. That's fine, but keep your mind off Yahuwah. You might just gain that person's soul. A woman might be interested in a brother, and she might be interested. I mean, excuse me, she may be interested in Yahuwah. He's not, but let's say she's alone. She come over to his house. He respects her very well, though. Okay, he may cook, disobey the Shabbat. She may eat. He keep the TV off though, and he asks, "Okay, listen, hon, I like you, but what is this about? I'm curious about this. I don't have the scriptures, but I need to know what are you about." And she gives him the truth, like she be an example of the truth, and he might just go ahead and gain hope. Now I know I said a while ago about women have to teach men, but this one is a little different because remember, the man is set apart by the woman. The woman is set apart by the man. Do you understand that? That's different because it's not men. It's just one brother. She don't have any male friends. She desire a husband. So I'm not saying for her to okay, yeah, I won you over, honey. Okay, great. Now she could be a pastor in the church teaching men. No, because you can use a woman as well to get a brother to be motivated. So let's say this happened on a Shabbat, but she did not disobey the Shabbat. She driven there or asked one of her lady friends that's of Yahuwah to drop her off at the brother's house. And she just had a meal, a drink. There was no sex involved, nothing. And the brother got his word out and he just listened to what she got to tell him. And then a few weeks later, he just started to read the word more and he get understanding. And now he messed around and teach her some things. And now they get into a covenant. Ain't that something? Vice versa, if a woman's interested in a brother and he's interested, but she's not, but she want to learn truth on the Shabbat. Okay? He comes over and teach her the word. Great. He goes home, enjoy the rest of the Shabbat. Okay, so I just wanted to say that nothing wrong with that. Doing visitations, but as long as you keep yourself in self control, you don't want to get too tempted. Okay. Um, see what else. I think I'm almost done with this subject. Let's go to Hebrews. Yeah, I'm almost done. Hebrews chapter 4. Yeah. Should be right after Philemon and Colossians. So yeah, that's before it's before good news of John, quote unquote gospel of John. Yeah. There you go. Chapter 4. Okay, so it says in verse 3, Hebrews 4 and 3. For we which have agreed do enter into rest. So when it's about rest, it's about the Sabbath rest. Keep that in mind, right? As he said, as I swore in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works weren't finished from the foundation of the world. That's how the book of Genesis, right? He rested after he done his work for 6 days, right? And 6 nights. Verse 4. For he spoke in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise. And Yahuwah did rest the seventh day from all his works. In this place again, if they shall enter my rest, seeing therefore it remains that some must enter therein, and they too whom it was first preached enter not in because of unagreement. Okay, remember, some is not will keep the Shabbat, some will. That's what they're saying in verse 6 because of unagreement. They don't want to agree with it. The truth, or unbelief, y'all call it. Now, again, he limits a certain day. We just want the limitations. Remember, the Shabbat had limitations, but it's spiritual, right? He limits a certain day, saying in Dayu, today, after so long a time, as it is said today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart. For those who keep the Shabbat, you heard his voice of the word, don't harden your heart. Keep the Shabbat every week. Okay, I don't care how long it is. Keep it all the way until you are dead. Okay, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, even though in your spirit, the Shabbat be kept perfectly anyway. Okay. Um, and by the way, when it's about hearing his voice, this is talking about the word. This ain't talking about, oh, Yahuwah told me last night give you $1,000 or give him a $3,000. Or they use the word God. God told me. Don't. You know what? That might be a teaching itself. It might be a teaching because people use that. Oh, God told me, as manipulation. Anyway, verse 8. For if Joshua, the son of Nun, Hebrew, Yahusha, not the son of Yah, the other one. That's two Yahushas. Anyway, the Joshua and then the Yahusha. I know it's kind of tricky, but for if Joshua, the son of Nun, okay, you know it's Hebrew, it's Yahusha. So folks call it Yahushua, had given them rest. Perchance another will speak again on this day. There remains therefore a Sabbath for the people of Yah. Excuse me. Excuse me. For he that is entered into his rest, he also has stopped from his own works, as Yahuwah did from his. Right? Let us labor therefore to the therefore to enter that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unagreement. See that? Limitation. Yahuwah, he stopped. We got to stop. Let's get used to limitations of the Shabbat, y'all. Okay, this is the day of rest. Hopefully, you guys got some understanding. Y'all know my email. I gave it to y'all. So I think that'd be it for today. We did a lot of cover. And just to summarize this, regarding keeping the Shabbat, keep it in the spirit. That's simple. I tell people, man, if you bored, okay, go outside, take a walk, thank Yahuwah, okay, Take a walk. Look at the leaves. Look at the water. Okay? But don't go on your phone looking at porn. Come on now. Don't do that. Or keep your phone at home. You go out by yourself. Challenge yourself. Take a walk. Drive your vehicle. Go to the woods. Be there for like 1 hour or something. 30 minutes. 15 minutes. Get some fresh air. Okay? Make a smoothie. Or make a smoothie in day of preparation. Did y'all know some smoothies will help you against stress and emotions? Yes. Yeah, I do. There are smoothie drinks that help you to balance yourself. Okay. Um, so yeah, do that. I do understand, children may be out of behavior. Or rebuke your children, because children have to understand about the Shabbat too. Now, I know some folks may say, well, children, you guys should let them play with their toys. No, you stop. Even toys not involved. I know that's tough, but we cannot let our children play with toys. Okay, we cannot let them play with toys. Okay, stuffed animals. I don't know about that. I guess you can use stuffed animals. Kind of play with them. Well, I don't know. Maybe toys are the problem. I don't know. Maybe toys. Well, I don't want to get too crazy on the toys and the stuffed animals with children. But preferably, just be careful with that. Children should not play video games. They shouldn't watch TV. They shouldn't be on their self tablet all day. Okay, that's the point. So I think the toys, that may not be a problem prospectively. I wouldn't say so. Um, but I guess that's an option. But then again, children may be obedient if you don't want them to play with toys in the 7th day. They might be obedient to that. But me, I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, you know, the children when they follow their parents. Um, Forgive me, my brother. Stuffed animals, I probably won't do that either. So we just have to be mindful of Yahuwah. Okay, Yahuwah don't have stuffed animals. So, all right. Um, so forgive me if this seemed a little bit too beyond, but this is what the word says, man. We just have to be real about the Shabbat, man. We just have to be mindful. All right. All right, great. I'm going to pray today. Praise you. Father, you just want to thank for this word today. It's been spoken out. May you be esteemed. We love you, worship you. Father, if I say anything wrong, please forgive me in the name of Husha. Just make sure I was speaking right of the truth. Just make sure that I'm on the right track of serving these people, Yahuwah, no matter what race they are, no matter what ethnic. Love is love. Yahuwah, your son, you said, love your neighbor as yourself. So again, Father, thank you so much for everything. And we look for the next Shabbat. Hallelujah. May you be esteemed. Hallelujah. So be it. Thank you.